hear 5 short extracts in which people are talking about their jobs. For questions 1 to 5, choose from the list A to H what each speaker says about their job. Use the letters only once. There are 3 extra letters which you do not need to use. Speaker 1.
I'm extremely lucky that I'm so happy in my work. It's not something I've always wanted to do. I only decided to become a nurse after I left school. It's a cliché, but the reason I enjoy it is that I'm helping other people. I wouldn't be happy in a job that just made money or where I couldn't see good things as a result of the time I put in. I'd soon get bored doing something like that. I can't deny that my job can be stressful at times, but it's so rewarding that I can cope with the stress.
Speaker 2.
My job's pretty boring, really. I work in a bank. It's not exactly exciting. I wish I could do something more interesting or with a bit of excitement, but banking certainly isn't that. However, I'd rather be stuck in the bank all day and safe than doing something dangerous like a firefighter or police officer. Those men and women risk their lives every day for their work. I really admire them, but I must admit I'm glad I don't have to do that.
Speaker 3.
My job is very stressful and I work extremely long hours. I'm always exhausted and I don't get enough time to see my family or just relax. If I had the choice, I'd leave and do something completely different. But I doubt that I'd be able to get the sort of job that I want. I haven't got the right qualifications for the jobs I'd enjoy. I studied what I thought was right for me at the time. But now, I wish I could do my school and university years again so that I could follow a different path.
Speaker 4.
I work for an environmental charity. Because it's a charity, the pay is terrible, but I'm very lucky because I don't actually need to work. My wife is a very well-paid lawyer, and if I wanted to, I could stay at home and do nothing all day. Well, not nothing. I could do the cooking, cleaning, shopping, etc. There's plenty of work to do around the house. But I'd get very bored doing that, and especially being on my own all day. So I chose to go to work instead, but I was able to choose a job that interests me, even if I don't make much money.
Speaker 5.
Personally, I'd rather not work at all. There are so many other things I'd rather be doing, and I find work such a waste of time. I'm not someone who needs to go to work in order to give a meaning to my life. But unfortunately, like most people, I don't have any choice because I need to earn money to live. I live on my own, so I have to pay the rent every month, as well as paying for food, clothes, electricity, and so on. And of course, I want a bit left over for going out and having fun. So work is something I just have to put up with.
You'll hear 5 short extracts in which people are talking about work experience. For questions 1 to 5, choose from the list A to H what each speaker says about it. Use the letters only once. There are 3 extra letters which you do not need to use. Speaker 1.
When I left school at 14, I started work straight away in an office. In those days, you didn't need a lot of qualifications to get a job, not like today. I started out just doing practical things, delivering the post, making tea, really boring stuff. Slowly, though, I got to learn more about how the business worked, and they gave me more and more responsibilities. I kept learning through what today they call hands-on experience. Eventually, I ended up a manager, and I'll be retiring next year.
Speaker 2.
When I leave school, I want to be a nursery school teacher. I just adore little children. I do a lot of babysitting for my neighbours and my parents' friends, and I get on really well with the under fives. During the last school holidays, I looked after 3 kids while their parents were at work. It was tiring, but very rewarding, and spending so much time with this age group means I have learnt a lot. I know how to treat them, and I think that the experience will be very useful for my future studies.
Speaker 3.
I wasn't sure if I should put down on my application form that I work part-time as a supervisor in a fast food restaurant. My parents said I should because it shows that I am keen to get into the real world instead of just playing on the computer all the time. I don't want to work in a restaurant forever as it's exhausting and not very well paid, but I'm applying for a management degree, so I guess it's all relevant experience really.
Speaker 4.
Even as a young girl, I always wanted to be a clothes designer. I remember my mother had a lovely old sewing machine which she rarely used, and she let me play on it. When I was about 11, I would make all sorts of clothes for my dolls. I used to copy the fashions in the magazines. I suppose you could say I taught myself to sew. I was good at art, but didn't dare apply for a fashion course because my parents didn't think I was good enough. Now that I've won first prize in a competition for new designers, I'm actually working with my favourite designer. It's the chance I've always dreamed of.
Speaker 5.
Every weekend, and in the holidays too, I visit my local riding school. I'm crazy about horses. This summer, I'm going to do work experience there too. It will be different to when I just go for fun. I'll be doing various jobs, including the dirty ones like cleaning the stables. One of the perks, though, is that when I have done a day's work, I will get a free riding lesson. I feel so lucky to be able to spend even more time with the horses. Not many people can do that.
So, what do you do, Amanda?
I work for a mobile phone company.
Oh yeah? Doing what?
I work in the design department. I'm involved in designing what you see on the screen of the phone. You know, all the graphics and icons.
All right. Sounds interesting. How did you get into that?
Well, I studied graphic design. After I graduated, I worked for a company that designed websites. Then one day I saw Vodafone were recruiting people, so I applied and I got a job. They gave me some training and I just got into it that way.
Okay. So how long have you been working there?
Oh, it must be 7 years now. Wait, no, 8. I was 25 when I joined, so yeah, 8 years. Time goes so fast.
You must enjoy it.
Yeah, I do generally. It's quite varied because they're constantly changing the phones and designs. And of course, it's quite a creative job, which is nice. But you know, it's like any job. It has its boring moments, and the hours can be quite long.
Really? How long?
Well, it depends if we have a deadline to meet. But sometimes I do something like 50 or 60 hours a week.
Really? That can't be easy.
It's actually fine. I mean, it is a bit stressful sometimes, but you get used to it. In fact, I sometimes need that stress to work well. You know, I sometimes work better under pressure.
Really? I can't work like that.
So, what do you do?
Oh, nothing. At the moment, I'm just studying.
Really? How old did you say you are?
30.
Really? You look younger.
Thanks.
So, were you working before?
Kind of. I worked in a law firm 2 years ago, but it was really insecure. When I started, I was basically working for free, more or less. I mean, they covered my lunch and my travel costs, but basically I didn't get paid.
Seriously?
Yeah. And of course, I didn't mind to begin with. I needed the work experience and they were a well-respected firm. I guess I just expected that sooner or later they'd offer me a full-time job.
And did they?
No, not a chance. There were some vague promises, enough to keep me thinking I might get something, but in the end I realized it was never going to happen.
How long were you there?
Just over a year and a half.
That's terrible.
Yeah, but you know, it happens quite a lot. Anyway, now I'm preparing for government exams so I can get a civil service job. It's much more secure. It's almost a job for life.
Really? That must be very competitive if other jobs are so insecure and badly paid.
Yeah, it is. I think there were 1,000 people applying for 10 jobs last time.
Gosh, well, good luck. A.
Did you hear about Patrick?
No. What?
Apparently, he's been given a written warning.
You're joking? What for?
He was going on the internet to buy concert tickets and book holidays, and he was always sending personal emails.
Yeah, so what? Doesn't everyone do that? I mean, we're certainly allowed to do it in our breaks.
Well, apparently, you're not allowed to use the company computers like that at all. Not in his company, anyway.
That's a bit unfair, isn't it?
You say that, but actually, what happened to him was he visited some site or other and somehow got a computer virus, and then it infected the whole system. He said the company had to spend a fortune sorting it all out.
Oh, right. Well, in that case, I can see why they might be a bit angry then.
B. Are you thinking of buying that?
Yeah? What do you think?
Very smart. I don't usually see you wearing stuff like that.
No, I know. But I've got this new job working in a law firm.
Oh, really? That's great news. What are you going to be doing there?
Just admin work, really. But they have a strict dress code. You can't even wear smart trousers. You have to wear skirts.
You're joking. Is that legal?
I guess so. They can do what they want, can't they?
You think? What if you can't wear something for religious or health reasons?
I don't know. I guess they make an exception. Anyway, listen. I've been looking for a job for ages, so I'm not going to complain.
C.
Bill, sorry to interrupt, but can I have a quick word?
Yes, of course. What's up?
Listen, I'd like to take the day off on Friday. My son's performing in a school concert.
Friday. I'm afraid that's impossible.
Are you sure?
Sorry, Adam. It wouldn't be a problem normally, but we've got a bit of a crisis this week. Vicky's off sick, and we really have to complete this order by Saturday.
Can't someone else help? Oh, my son will be so disappointed if I don't watch him play. And I do have some holiday left for this year.
I'm sure. But if we're late with this order, we might lose the whole contract.
I see.
You're supposed to arrange time off with me a month in advance, you know.
I know. It's just I've asked you at short notice before and it hasn't been a problem.
Well, as I say, normally it isn't.
Well, I guess that's all. I don't know what I'll tell my son.
I'm sorry. You'll be really helping me and the company.
You will hear 5 short extracts in which people are talking about ambitions. For questions 1 to 5, choose from the list A to H what each speaker says about ambitions. Use the letters only once. There are 3 extra letters which you do not need to use. Speaker 1.
Well, I think in general that whether or not you're ambitious depends on the background you come from. I mean, if you come from a family of famous explorers, you're likely to have the ambition of discovering a secret tribe in the jungle or climbing a high mountain, aren't you? But if you come from a very poor family, your only goal in life might be to put food on your children's plates each day. I think having a particular ambition that makes you different from other people is probably only something a small number of people can afford to have.
Speaker 2.
I believe that you can achieve anything you want if you're really determined and you truly believe in yourself. There are so many people who've achieved amazing things that nobody else thought were possible, just because they persisted and didn't let anything or anyone stop them. You don't have to be rich and famous. You just have to believe that something is important and have the determination to keep going until you've achieved it. You need to be very strong, though, and not listen to what other people say.
Speaker 3.
I don't think being ambitious is a very good idea. I mean, most people will probably tell you they've got some sort of ambition, but how many of those will succeed? Probably very few. I wouldn't want to be ambitious in the first place because I'd be afraid of being a failure and a disappointment to myself and others. And imagine how much money, time, and effort you could waste on trying to achieve something. You'd probably end up poorer than when you started, you'd lose your friends on the way, and you'd wish you hadn't tried to change anything.
Speaker 4.
It depends what kind of ambition you're talking about, because I think there are two very different types. There's the type of ambition little children have, like going to the moon or being a film star, which are not very realistic. And there are more realistic ambitions like wanting to become a doctor or a lawyer. For almost all of us, the first kind is a waste of time, whereas the second kind is really good because it gives you a reason to study at school and university and the inspiration to work hard and do well. That's much better than just going to school every day because you have to.
Speaker 5.
I've never been an ambitious person, probably because my parents weren't either. They were happy just living an ordinary life, doing their best and keeping other people happy, and that's how I feel too. Nothing's ever particularly inspired me to want to be different or a high achiever. There's nothing special that I particularly want in life. I don't want to be famous, and I know I'll never be very rich. Instead of always wanting something I haven't got, I'd rather just relax and enjoy the life I have got.